2 Peter chapter 2, lying religious leaders. But there were also lying prophets among the people then, just as there will be lying religious teachers among you. That will smuggle in destructive divisions, pitting you against each other, biting the hand of the one who gave them a chance to have their lives back. They've put themselves on a fast, downhill slide to destruction, but not before they recruit a crowd of mixed up followers who can't tell right from wrong. They give the way of truth a bad name. They're only out for themselves. They'll say anything that sounds good to exploit you. They won't, of course, get by with it. They will come to a bad end, for God has never just stood by and let that kind of thing go on. God didn't let the rebel angels off the hook, but jailed them in hell until Judgment Day. Neither did he let the ancient ungodly world off. He wiped it out with a flood, rescuing only 8 people. Noah, the sole voice of righteousness, was one of them. God decreed destruction for the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. A mound of ashes was all that was left. Grim warning to anyone bent on an ungodly life. But that good man Lot, driven nearly out of his mind by the sexual filth and perversity, was rescued. Surrounded by moral rot, day after day after day, that righteous man was in constant torment. So, God knows how to rescue the godly from evil trials, and he knows how to hold the feet of the wicked to the fire until Judgment Day. Predators on the prowl. God is especially incensed against those, quote, teachers who live by lust, addicted to a filthy existence. They despise interference from true authority, preferring to indulge in self-rule. Insolent egotists. They don't hesitate to speak evil against the most splendid of creatures. Even angels, their superiors in every way, wouldn't think of throwing their weight around like that, trying to slander others before God. These people are nothing but brute beasts, born in the wild, predators on the prowl. In the very act of bringing down others with their ignorant blasphemies, they themselves will be brought down, losers in the end. Their evil will boomerang on them. They're so despicable and addicted to pleasure that they indulge in wild parties, carousing in broad daylight. They're obsessed with adultery. Compulsive in sin, seducing every vulnerable soul that they come upon. Their speciality is greed, and they're experts at it. Dead souls. They've left the main road and are directionless, having taken the way of Balaam, son of Beor, the prophet who turned profiteer, a connoisseur of evil. But Balaam was stopped in his wayward tracks. A dumb animal spoke in a human voice and prevented the prophet's craziness. There is nothing to these people. They are dried up fountains, storm-scattered clouds, headed for a black hole in hell. They are loud mouths, full of hot air, but still they're dangerous. Men and women who have recently escaped from a deviant life are most susceptible to their brand of seduction. They promise these newcomers freedom, but they themselves are slaves of corruption. For if they're addicted to corruption, and they are, well, they are enslaved. If they escape from the slum of sin by experiencing our Master and Savior Jesus Christ, and then slid back into that same old life again, they are worse than if they had never left. Better not to have started out on the straight road to God than to start out and then turn around and turn back, repudiating the experience and the holy command. They prove the point of the Proverbs. A dog goes back to its own vomit, and a scrubbed up pig's head's for the mud.